Okay, so we are going to look at the introduction for entrepreneurship. So if I say that South Africa is a developing country, why would you think we are an developing country? Why would you say we are, what do we mean by we are a developing country? Room 12, do you have any idea? Can you give me any answer? Or room 13, what do we mean by a developing country or developing country? Can you guys hear me? Room 12 and 13 and 5. Tandu, do we have a problem there? Okay. We spoke about the developing countries. Developing countries. That means that everyone in the country doesn't have a job. Also, everyone doesn't have a running water in their houses. They're also not all of them have houses. Okay, so they are still in a situation or at a stage where the country then develops. Okay, so contribute to economical growth, and this is where we are actually looking at the unemployment rate in South Africa. It's still very high, so we want a situation where we actually can reduce the unemployment rate in South Africa. With that goes then a better living conditions. Now, what we want here is we want people to have at least a job, and then within that earn a salary, even if it is a part-time job, but in some form or some way get some income from doing a piece job or anything like that. So linked onto that is then lessen crime. So if we have a situation where people have a job, then they might be doing less crime. That is what we hope for. And that will then help us to grow our economy. Okay, so what is entrepreneurship? This is where you start a new business, employ people, and then generate an income from that. Government collects income, and also that will be in the form of taxes. They use this then to build and develop infrastructure, which is schools, roads, also hospitals, houses, and then also deliver services by the local government, which is water and electricity. So government then will make sure that there is actually favorable business conditions available for all people in South Africa to start little businesses. Okay, there's a little YouTube video that I would not be able to show you now. I'm going to put it in a QR code for you on your slides as well, so you can then watch that one on your own as many times as you want to. Okay, guys, so let us get then to the very important stuff, and that is then our definition of an entrepreneur. You will find this on page 2 in your textbook. It's not exactly the same as in the textbook. If you want to, you could write this one down, but remember I also said I will give you the slides. So what I got from this is I actually collected a lot of extra information by being a national marker, where you then get more information regarding subjects and also the information in there. So the definition that I've got, this one normally counts 6 marks, is then creates a new business idea or business. Also, face the risk of uncertainty. When you start a little business, there's no guarantee that this business is going to be successful. Then for the purpose of achieving profit and growth. Now, to make money is one thing, but to achieve profit is something different, because profit can be something that you have additional. Making money, you might just break even. And you also want to start a little business where you will then grow your business in. By identifying opportunities, so you will see the gaps in the market and you will see the need and a want, and then use that as a business idea. And assembling the necessary resources. So here we look at the financial resources, what of your own resources or capital is available. Also, you can maybe apply for a loan at any bank or financial institution, and then to capitalize on those opportunities. So from the gap, the opportunity that you see, you are actually going to generate an additional profit or then an income as well. Okay, so entrepreneur with an I. This is on page 3 at the bottom. So this is then someone that will find opportunities for someone else. They are very important because they create value for any existing business. So they use the existing resources to innovate. So they will maybe use or identify a computer program that will maybe be implemented or used to maybe make life way more easier in some way. So they will see innovation and then introduce that to the existing business. They realize that there is a need to maintain competitiveness. So if you have any business, you will always have competitors. And this must then change accordingly. So if the market change, you must obviously change your way of setting and managing your business as well. You must always be up to date and also competitive, because remember, you're using, or the same customers will attend to your business or buy from you as they will from your competitors. I think we all do that anyway. Okay, so they do exactly the same work as an entrepreneur, but as part of the existing enterprise, they are totally unmissable. So they are the people who actually, as we said in the beginning, creates value. So they will then identify situations that might be more profitable. So act for the benefit of someone else's business. So they will never start their own business, but they will rather manage or then run someone else's business. They does not own the business, or then because they're not willing to take the risk. That is not what they are going to do. It's too risky for them. Okay, then main challenges of the changing company culture. So these are the people who are used in any company that should procedures or policies regarding anything in a business change. They will be used to then implement that change in the company. Okay, next one, we've got similarities as well as differences. So the differences first, what is an entrepreneur? They are game changers. There's more freedom regarding them. They can do anything that they want to regarding the business, how they want to allocate the staff, what products they want to include, and they normally don't have any resources available. So what happens is most of the times people have a little bit of money that they start a small business and then it grows, or if they need more money, they will then borrow from any financial institution. So the main challenge then, the market know-how and also credibility. The value creator, that is then the entrepreneur, they have less execution risk. They're not willing to take the risk. And then the company's resources are used. They don't have any money available that they will spend on the risk that will be taken by starting the business. And then the main challenge is then the company's culture. Similarities, identify opportunities and also needs and take the lead. And then they are very innovative and they accept the risk. That is then obviously the entrepreneur who will take a moderate risk, but the entrepreneur who will take the full risk. And they also have confidence. This is important information, the same as the first slide as well. Okay, other very important information is then the different characteristics of an entrepreneur or qualities. This is on page 4 in your textbook, summarized here for you. Okay, confidence. They have confidence. They are optimistic. They're always, as I said in one of the classes just previously, the cup is always half full. It's never half empty, no? Positive attitude always. They don't blame others when something goes wrong, but they analyze the situation and then find the problem or the reason why there was a problem or a failure. Moderate risk. They are then willing to take a moderate risk. Examine the opportunity intelligently. So they will look at where the problem is really and then weigh up the risk before or how risky it is and then weigh up the risk before they are making a decision. If it is really achievable or if it is too risky. Okay, so they are self-employed. So this means that there's no fixed salary every month. So that is taking a risk from the beginning. Responsible, this is in control of your own resources. The resources that we're talking about is your staff, also the finance, anything regarding stock, and that is then also equipment. So anything that you're going to need. So you won't go and buy the latest and the most expensive equipment because you must work within a budget, and that is being responsible. They also use this to achieve the objectives that they've set for themselves, and that will give them job satisfaction. So taking charge of your own life, also don't expect others to provide for you. And that is what entrepreneurs are. Energetic. They perform a wide variety of tasks, meaning that you're going to sometimes have to be the cleaner if the cleaner is absent, or the cashier, or if it is possible, the baker in the kitchen. It's long hours and it's very hard work to start a new business. Then identify opportunities. This is where you find new opportunities or gaps in the market, new wants or needs that are created by consumers that might arrive. Okay, so they are also concentrating on what can be done tomorrow, so future orientated. We have a few more here. Organizing, they are very good in organizing people together, staff especially, who can work together together in a group or in a team. And then also they can do a lot of tasks at once, together or at once. Okay. They have a need to achieve. So they are all alone when starting this business, providing for themselves and proving to themselves and others that this business will definitely be successful. The desire for immediate feedback, this could be positive or negative. So positive, obviously, that is smooth riding where you grow your business and you can expand your business, but negative, when you get customers that complain about some products, the quality of it, maybe the price of it, or services as well. Okay, guys, this is very important, as I mentioned, the qualities of an entrepreneur. And then we have a little summary there, right in the middle of the page 5. Then successful entrepreneurs. Who can become an entrepreneur? Anyone can become an entrepreneur. You can learn the skill. So you don't have to have a skill. You can learn the skill of being an entrepreneur or becoming an entrepreneur. Okay, then at the bottom of this slide, I have a little test, a free personality test for you if you are into these kind of things by Myers-Briggs. It's a very accurate one. So why would I like you to do this? The reason for that is I would like you to maybe identify your personality. There are 16 personalities that are actually identified here. And it's good to know where you fit in so that you know and understand where you are going to fit in a group, your characteristics or your personality. Okay, so who of you have checked on your phone or on your watch what the time was now on the screen, what the time was? Flip your hand quickly. You can show us quickly. Do I see a few hands? Okay, so without doing this test, I can tell you immediately now that you might be a timekeeper. Now, timekeepers are very important people because you will always make sure that we are never late or we run never late for anything. So thank you for the timekeepers. Um, I would really want you to go and try this little test. It's really interesting and you will see it's very accurate. Okay, so the next slide that we have is then the skills development. Okay, we are on page 8 now. So start something that you know well and also that you have the skills in. That is the business that I want you to do, or services or products that I want you to sell or then services render. Okay, with your own little businesses that you're going to start off, I would also encourage you to make use of this because you never know if this might become a real business for you. On that note, for Valentine's Day, I spoke to Dr. Haman, our campus manager, this morning, and she approved that we are going to have a market day on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day. So I would like you to sell some products. It's going to be at the Paarlberg campus here next to the cafeteria under the trees. So anything that you want to sell regarding legal products, obviously, food, cold drink, ice cream, anything like that. If you're interested, please come and see me so that I can put your name on a list. And that is only to make sure that we don't have more than 2 little stalls that sell the same products. You don't have to pay anything to start this or make use of this opportunity, and all the money that you make or profit that you make on that day goes back to your own pocket. So this is an opportunity for you to maybe invest in the money that you have in your pocket. Okay, so the skills, the 3 of them, you will see this again, and we are also going to do a little case study regarding this, where you will then be able to apply the knowledge that we've learned now for today. Okay, so knowledge and skills is one of the first personal skills that you need as an entrepreneur. Under knowledge and skills goes technical skills, and that is for the job that you are going to do. So if you're a plumber, you have to be able to do or repair stuff or maybe install taps or toilets or any sanitation. Driving, you need certain skills. Then computer literacy. You have to be able to understand and also use some of the programs that are then on your advertisement for the job. Okay, management skills. You heard about POLC before. That is planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. That is very important skills that you need as a manager. And then conceptual skills. That is in the ability to see the whole big picture in your mind. Sometimes people struggle with that, but sometimes if it is a clear picture, then you know it is going to be successful and exactly what you're going to need there. Okay, contacts and friends, interpersonal skills and networking. So this is the skills that you need to work with your staff members. Also, networking could include your suppliers that you are going to deal with. Also, other people that might help you to install and implement other products or maybe computer programs or anything like that. So with that, you build a network. It's always good to build a very good network. I totally believe in that because you always know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone, isn't it? Okay. Then finance. That is the last personal skill here. And this is your own capital or borrowed capital from a financial institution. Also, proper business plan is needed here. We've spoken about that. And then accountant or a bookkeeping skill. And that we are going to do in module 8 as well, just basic accounting skills. All right, guys, so this then, our last slide for today before we're going to do the case study, values. Who of you knows who this guy is? And why is he famous? Who is this guy? Room 12, do you know? Room 12? You guys know? Room 13, do you know who it is? No. Okay, guys, so this is Steve Jobs. If you didn't know who he is actually the guy who invented iPhones. Yes? Okay, so the iPhones are then, okay, the iPhones are then invented by Steve Jobs. So he's got a very, he actually had a very innovative mind and also a very innovative idea. And he started very small. If you have time and you really want to look at and listen to something very good, maybe just go and have a look, listen to some of his videos. He's very motivational and he really did start very small. Actually, in a garage, that is how this business started. Okay, so if we look at values, South Africa economy is essentially a market economy. So we have specific markets that we are selling. So forming an integral part of the global economy. So we are integrated, that is what this means, with the global economy, the whole economy internationally. So we have a need to trade and also invest to grow our economy. If we look at trade, what does trade means? Trade means that we buy and sell products or services. Then investments is needed because if we want to start a big project, you need people to buy in. So you need money for that. You need investors. Now, if I borrow money from you, 500 Rand, and if I ask you to borrow 500 Rand, and you say, yes, I will borrow 500 Rand, but I want 600 Rand back. That is actually how it works in real life. So you borrow money, but you always pay interest. If you are the investor, you will generate money from that. Okay, makes sense. Now, okay, so it's always a good idea to then have a good image regarding investment. If I borrow money from you, but you know I gamble, would you still borrow the money to me? Now you're taking a risk, you see? And this is exactly what happens with any country that has investors. Investors actually take a risk. Sometimes they win or sometimes they lose. Okay, so investments are very important in any country because that means that people support a certain project, and that is positive actually. So the image from South Africa that we actually giving to the world, that is going to have effect on the investments that actually is going to take place. So in South Africa, sometimes we have big companies who decide, no, this is getting too risky now. So what is the effect of that? The effect of investors not investing in South Africa anymore means that people might lose jobs. People without jobs are unemployed. So the unemployment rate goes up again. With that goes the same thing of what we started in the beginning. Their life conditions doesn't improve. So they are hungry again. And that then creates the situation where the gap between the rich and the poor gets bigger and bigger. So this is then all about the economy and why we actually need investments or investors and also trade into imports as well as exports. All right. It's a pity you couldn't talk with me. I would love to actually discuss and hear what you have to say around this. But anyway, we will definitely sort the microphone situation out tomorrow. Okay, guys, so let us go to page 12 and then case study 1.1. There's only 3 questions there. Let us try and do that. And then we will still have time to mark that. Okay, so let me give you about 10 minutes. Let us say 22. We're going to mark this quickly. Is that fine with you? Okay, I'm just going to walk around to see quickly if you guys are all fine.